Hi, I'm Oluchi Blessing Okeke. This is my typography animation. Let me show you how I did it.
Okay, when you open Adobe After Effects, this is the layout. This is the layout you see. So we'll create a new composition. I name this composition um, render. This is the final composition I'll render out. So I'm naming it render assignment. Okay, then we'll make the size and the width to be 10, 1920 by 1080. Okay, next we're going to create another composition that will be act as our text placeholder. So we're going to name it text placeholder, and I'm going to be setting this to be okay. I want to go with the width. We'll set it to something like 2000, and for the height, maybe something like 800. Okay, so we have that. So now we select the text tool, and we type the text. So I'm going to type this animation. You pick it, go back to your pick tool. You can just bring it in. Okay, my caps lock is on the off your caps lock. All right. So I'm using for this particular, I'm using 2 cents empty fonts, and then you can just decide to go to align, align it to the center, just like this. And for the kind of effect I want to create, I made the animation a little bit longer. Something like this is fine. Something like this is fine. Okay, let's align it to be okay. All right, good. Okay, there's something else I wanted to add here. Let me edit the text. Um, okay, so I'll reduce the size, the overall size. You can just tweak this as you like, but this is how I made mine. Select it, and then let's reduce the size of it. Okay, okay, this is good. Always, I need to make sure it's aligned properly. Now we'll write another text. Click on our text tool again, just anywhere. And this time around, I want to write 3MTT, 3MTT typography. Okay, so select it, selected it. Come to a character. Let me reduce this. I reduce the size, bring it down a lot. Okay, off my caps lock. Okay, okay. Let me bring it to the screen so that it's visible. And this is it. I'm going to change the font to popping lights. Popping lights. Or regular. Let's use regular. Regular is fine. And then I'm going to make it change the color to white. Okay, and then I want to increase the character spacing like this. We bring this here and to increase character spacing. Okay, now this, let me take it down a little. I just want it to align now, and this is fine for me. I'll duplicate this. To duplicate, press Ctrl D. That's duplicated. I hold Shift and drag it down under like this. Okay, I'm still going to edit this, and I want to write by Oluchi Blessing. Okay, that's good. Tool. So this is basically it. As you can see, this one is shooting out a little. You can just come here and reduce this and just adjust, keep adjusting. And there's something I did. I use Control Alt to get the rulers. So I'll measure and see where this text is starting, so that I can put it to start at the same place as well. When you're done with the ruler, you can just take it out and then Control R, the ruler goes out. So this is fine. So this is basically it. As you can see, this one is shooting out a little. You can just come here and reduce this and just adjust, keep adjusting. And there's something I did. I use Control Alt to get the rulers. So I'll measure and see where this text is starting, so that I can put it to start at the same place as well. When you're done with the ruler, you can just take it out and then Control R, the ruler goes out. So this is fine. So now for creating, I want to create the strip. The strip I use, so I create a new composition. I'll name it strip. And for this one, I want the width to be 1000 and the height to be 8000. Alright, and then go back to our text placeholder here, and there's one thing we need to add. We need to add a background. So you go to new, create a solid layer, and you can name it a background here. We'll just call it BG, and that's it. You bring it down, it's visible. That's it. Alright, let's go back to our strip. Now this is our strip. Let me zoom in a little. Okay, then we'll drag our text composition down to the strip. Bring it, you rotate it by clicking R. R is the rotation shortcut, and by 90 degrees. We rotate it by 90 degrees rather. Okay, now that's it. So for us to create this strip, let me put it on transparency. For us to create this strip, we're going to go to effects and presets. I will search for CC reptile. This is the reptile. Double click. Okay, it's not selected here. Okay, double click, and then you say to come here, and then we'll tweak. If you see if I'm increasing this, it's slowly duplicating. We'll set this to around 3200. Expand right, and we'll set the expand left to be 3200, just so it has a good reach. Now our strip is ready. So now what the next thing we have to do is to create our frame rule. Go back to project and then create a new composition, call it rule. So we're going to make the width and height, the width and height 2000 by 2000. Okay, so we'll drag and drop the text composition that we have. Oh, sorry. Alright, well, for this to get that roll effect, we take it to CC, we go to effects and presets and search for CC cylinder. Double click. Now you have it. Now for it to have the more realistic effect, you go to this and collage transformations and you check, and that's it. And then when we go to let's go into the shading and make the ambient 100. Okay, see the colors popped and it's now shiny. It's now shiny. And then we'll now make this roll. Now we'll go to the rotation on the CC cylinder. So it's rotate. You will come to this the rotation Y, add a keyframe at the beginning. Make sure your timeline hits at the beginning. Then you go to 10 seconds. Take it to 10 seconds. Remember our initial, I didn't tell you the initial timing I put on the composition is 10 seconds. So we'll set this to -6. It automatically creates another keyframe at the end. If you want to see it, if you click on U, you will see the keyframes. Okay, now if you see now, if we preview this, you can see it's rotating. Good, we've gotten our row. Now let's go back to our main render composition, which is this, and then go to project and you first will drag the strip down. So then let's rotate it properly. Click on R, press R and rotate to -90. Then your scale to like around 35. Good. Okay, and then we'll take the rule that we created and drag it down to above the strip, and we'll also reduce it using scale to around 38. Okay, and that's good. You save. Okay, I'll turn on the transparency grid to see everything properly. Now we'll take this whole shift and take this out. Okay, hold this whole shift to make sure it's in the straight line. You take it out, and then you go to the position properties. Make sure your timeline ahead is at the beginning, and then you click on the stopwatch to create a keyframe. Okay, then go to 4 seconds. Make sure it's at 4 seconds. You can hold shift to ensure it's hitting the 4 second mark. Then you hold your shift, you pick a drag, hold your shift to maintain that straight line, and take it out this way. Good. That's created a second keyframe for you automatically, and now you have a motion part there. Okay, you can see you have a nice roll if you look at it. Okay, take it back to the beginning again. We go to the strip, click on strip. You create your quick rectangle tool to create a mask. Good. The right access to go back. So shortcut for selection tool is V. So if you don't want to always be going back there, click on V. Then you go to mask part. That's your 4 seconds mark. Hold shift and hit 4 seconds. You put your keyframe. Go back to the beginning, and then you highlight this and move it backwards like that. Hold shift while you're doing this to make sure it's in a straight line. It's outside of the screen. Good. You created it. Now let's see the preview if it follows suit. Let's preview it from here. You can use spacebar to preview, or you come to your preview pane here and preview by placing play. Okay. So you see it follows. Now we'll see stroll. Good. Let's pause it. It's slow like this because of my system. My system doesn't have a very high capacity, but it's trying. So we have created a rolling strip animation, but then we are not done. We need to create duplicates of this. But before we do that, let's create a null object so that we'll group everything together. We create a null object, new null. So we have to move the icon point to the center by holding Control, while the null is selected, holding Control and double clicking on the pan behind tool. Good. The anchor point is now in the center. Now we are going to align it to be in the center of the entire composition. We're going to align, then you center it. Now it's at the center. So we're going to rename this to be controller. Okay, and now we're going to link parent. Going to parent this to the roll and the strip to the controller by using this whip here. Now that's done. This will enable them move together, and it's a form of kind of like grouping. So now let's select all of them and give them a single color like red, so that they are all one and it won't cause confusion. So before we go ahead with the duplicating, we're going to go to another object, and we can rotate it. Click on R. We can rotate a little or like this. Okay, and then also size scale, and make it like maybe 120. Good. So there's something you can do. We can also go to I want to change the color of the strip itself. So you click on the strip, go to effects and presets, and type tint. Double click it, and you change the color. But these are not the colors I want. Use this eyedropper tool. Let's take the color, this particular one here, and then take this eyedropper tool and use this bigger one here. Now this is better. So now we've gotten a very nice strip here. Just good. Now let's increase it around 1. Right. Let's be using the scale option to around 140. Make it bigger. Now it looks way better. Okay, then you select all 3 layers and do Control D to duplicate it, and then move them to the top when this line is showing. And then you can change the color to maybe yellow, then come out, go to the controller, go to rotation, R, and then you can also change the rotation. You can also move it a bit. And then another thing you can also do, for them not to be coming at the same time, you highlight all of them, and then you move it a little bit to the. So this comes first, then the other one follows suit, just like that. So what you just need to keep doing now is duplicating it and rolling. So for us to make our work faster, you click on this key. It's an arrow. Okay, just it expands the timeline, and then to make our duplicating faster, I want to do like 7 different duplicates or thereabouts. So now let's go and change the controller tree.
So I went on to change all the controllers, tweaking their rotations and adjusting their positions accordingly.
Okay. The last but not the least, controller 8. We're going to take this a little bit further, push it right backward, and then go to its rotation. By pressing R keyboard, and then let's put it on 0. Has no rotation at all. We'll go to align it to the middle, so it's like the final word. Let's align rather. Align it. So that's in the middle. And it comes out last as the final work. Okay. Then there's something we want to do. We'll go to the effect. Go to the strip of controller 8 and then turn off the effect, the tint, so that it will be major. That way, we've made a very cool animation. If you watch it, you can see. I don't want to play it, it's very slow, but this is how it all comes. Okay, beautiful. Then we want this to have the camera kind of view. It's not just be flat. Let's have this camera feel to it. So we're going to add just to give it that camera feel. We're going to add an adjustment layer. Good. Let's rename this adjustment layer to transform. Transform. Just right, whatever you want to name it. Then we go to effects and presets, and we'll search for transform, which is this. Double click to apply. Good. And then you come to the position. So you take your cursor back. You come to position, hold alternate, and click on position. It's open a tab for you where we can insert an expression for it. Okay, so we can type in wiggle, on parenthesis, 1,12. Good. Now you see it's now having this camera kind of view. So there's one last thing we need to do. You can see we have an empty background here. We have to create a background, and for that we create a solid layer. Just right click, choose with solid. Just call it BG, and this color I like it. Let me put it. Now it covers the entire thing. Let's open our timeline properly. Then you take the background, take it to the last. Good. Just put it. Then you have your animation, beautiful animation. So let's play it. Let's play it. Start from the beginning. Go to a preview pane and play.
And that's it. Thank you so much for watching.